Hi, it's Kelly here from spiritualawakeningsigns.com, coming to you today with an awesome masterclass: how to cut energetic cords to let go of toxic relationships and regain your personal power. It is a really big milestone of spiritual awakening, and the shift that you can create by cutting these cords is fantastic. We're going to cover all of that. Now, in this video, we're going to cover everything that you need to know to understand all about energy cords and how to deal with them. We're going to cover what they actually are and why you need to cut them. We're going to cover what causes these energy depleting connections in the first place. We're going to cover 3 signs that negative energy cords are draining your energy, so you'll know for sure if you've got them, and of course they lower your vibration as well. We're going to cover our special 3-step system, which is 3 steps to finally cutting draining negative energy cords to let go of any toxic relationships or dynamics you've ever experienced, and of course how to regain your full personal and spiritual power. It's really a fantastic practice that can shift things in a big way, so I can't wait to get into this. Now, as we get into this masterclass, if there's only one thing that you take away from this entire masterclass, this is it. Energy cords are draining your spiritual energies, and what I need you to know is that's happening right now. Okay, energy cords drain your spiritual energies. Past toxic relationships and negative dynamics that you might have experienced throughout your life with family, previous partners, friends, even co-workers, it can create these unhealthy negative energetic cords, and they really seriously deplete your energy. They draw energy away from you all the time, and that means instead of creating healthy and balanced transfers of energies between 2 people, it can steal energy away from you, so it's depleting your energy levels. It leaves you feeling drained and exhausted. Quite often you might not even know why you feel that way, and it entangles you in that negative energy, particularly the energy of the past. And that's a problem, because when you're stuck in that and you've got all these energetic cords and energy's being drained from you, you're not going to be able to break free. You're certainly not going to be able to move into higher levels of spiritual growth or spiritual awakening, because you're going to be stuck in all these 3D energies of the past. It's not good. So what we need to do is to cut those old negative energetic cords that are causing an energy deficit and binding us to those low vibrational energies, so that we can be totally free of that negative grip of people who ultimately maybe don't have our best interests at heart. Maybe we didn't get along very well and there's something negative there. We want to move past that. We want to regain all of our personal power, and it's really important that we step into that space as we progress spiritually. You must move into that space if you want to move forward. Nothing good can come of allowing people to steal your energy and siphon your energy all the time. So just wait till you see the difference that this fantastic practice can make when you cut these negative energy cords and they are cleared for good. It allows positive connections to enter your life. It allows similarly minded people to start gravitating into your life, and it just shifts the energy entirely. It's fantastic. So hopefully you're interested in this energy cord information, and we're going to take it one step further. So what we need to talk about now is, do you actually have them? Well, what I want to start with before we get into that is really an understanding of what energy cords are, because it can be a little bit confusing to understand just at first. They basically are invisible threads of energy that exist between 2 people. They usually exist or connect to people, places or things, and they can be positive. For example, the positive connection between a mother and her child, or 2 best friends, but it can also be negative. So a good example of that would be between a narcissist and an empath, and that's when it can cause a problem. And I know if you're watching this video, you're probably a sensitive, energetic person. You're probably going through awakening, or you're empathic in some way, and that narcissist-empath dichotomy really is a problem for us as we move through awakening. So really important to clear that out and shift into the next phase of awakening. Now, energy cords keep this continual balanced energetic transfer between the 2 parties. And in a positive relationship, this is a healthy thing. It's healthy, it's happy, it's beneficial for both people. But when it exists in a negative relationship of any kind, it can steal that energy away from you. It can deplete your energy levels and really leave you feeling drained and exhausted. Like I said before, you might not even know why. You might not really be aware of why you feel as drained and exhausted as you do, but it's an energy thing. And it's quite often created by dynamics that are unhealthy or toxic. We're going to get into all of that, and that drain our life force energy. It really drains that energy away, and it robs us of fully owning our personal power, of really being able to stand in our personal spiritual power, because there's lots of different sources that are like pulling it away all over throughout our aura. So that's just going to leave you depleted. It's not good. So here are some of the different types of situations that would tend to cause negative energy cords. This might be helpful for you to understand. Okay, so situations that would cause negative energy cords are when boundaries are not respected or adhered to, when manipulation, guilt tactics, gaslighting or abuse is involved, or when obligation, judgment or unconstructive criticism is at play. So any of those things, any of those dynamics are absolutely going to create negative energy cords between you and the person who is creating this negative environment, this negative energy. But it's also quite likely if you resonate with any of the following, and I think probably as someone going through spiritual awakening and on that spiritual pathway, you'll resonate with these. So these things can also cause negative energy cords, so listen up. They're very likely if you're an empath or a sensitive soul, if you struggle to set boundaries with others, if you find it difficult to say no or you feel guilty for saying so, you have people-pleasing tendencies, you dislike or avoid confrontation or conflict, or if you've been told you're too nice, which is very common for empaths. We're always looking out for everyone else and we tend to put our self-care last. So really important that you consider all of those aspects and see if that actually resonates with you, who you are, what your experience has been throughout life and the dynamics you've had with the people around you. Now, what I do want to know is if you've been through any of that, I know that it's really challenging to escape the negative influence of others. It's really a difficult thing to do, and if you're going through that, where the whole spiritual community is sending compassion to you, it's very difficult, especially if you're a good person and you hold yourself to really strong moral principles. But please know this, you can be assertive and a good person at the same time. It's not two separate things. This is a kind of wholeness aspect of spiritual awakening. You know, when you really move into that energy, you can be assertive and you can still be a nice person. They're not two separate ideas. But you have to stop allowing others to take from you the precious energy that you actually need just to sustain yourself. That's not all right for other people to take that. You need to cut the cords, regain all the fragments of your energy. So that energy that people have been taking and draining from you, they are holding energy, your energy in their field. So you're not complete. All those little aspects of your energy are out at lots of different sources. We need to get that back. We need to call that energy back. And it's about, like I said, you know, cutting those cords, regaining all the fragments of your energy, setting healthy and respectful boundaries, very, very important. And then when you've done all those things, when you feel whole again, you can help others as you feel guided without harming your own energies in the process, because that doesn't help anyone. It just leaves you drained and exhausted, and you can't help anyone. You can't even help yourself when you're in that energy. So really important, that is ascension. That really is ascension, when you reach that space where you're taking care of yourself, and you also choose when you feel guided to assist others, but you know that first and foremost you must be okay to be able to do that. You must be okay to be able to keep yourself strong, to be able to fulfill your purpose, and the universal energies know that. So you won't get any further ahead until you shift past this block. You don't need to be drained and exhausted. You don't need to let others steal your precious energy in order to be a good person either. That's just not needed. It's time for you to reclaim your personal power. And if this is resonating, particularly if it's making you feel emotional or upset, it's reaching something in the soul. So listen up. It's time to regain your personal power and really stand strong as the ascended soul that you truly are. You are an ascended soul, so you should behave as such. You should have that strength of energy within you. You're not going to have that if you've lost parts of it to all these different sources. If you do that, if you can really shift through this, you're going to live from a standpoint of strength. You're going to live without feeling obligated or overwhelmed by other people. You're going to be able to fully embody your higher self, which is the whole point of awakening, bringing that higher ascended energy down here. And you're going to be able to help and assist others as you feel guided, not obligated. That's the most important shift that I want you to make today. Is it's about helping others as you feel guided from within, as the universe assists you in showing you what it is that you're meant to do next, rather than feeling like you should. Remove should from your vocabulary. Should not be in there. Ironically, we want to really remove that and clear that out. It's a much better energy to do these things as you feel guided, coming from a place of feeling whole within yourself. Okay, it's a really powerful shift we can make forward with this energy. So 3 signs negative energy cords are draining your energy is the next step. You really need to know. Now, for a start, what I would say to anyone going through spiritual awakening or on the spiritual pathway, especially if you've never done cord cutting before, energy cords definitely are draining your spiritual energies. There's no question. Anytime I work with anyone in sessions or in any sort of energy healing work, we look at cords and there's cords there. It's always there. If you don't cut those old energetic cords, then really what you're doing energetically is you're ultimately choosing to be an energetic doormat. You are allowing others to wipe their shoes on you. You're allowing others to drain your energy without your permission. Trust me, no spiritual growth can come of that. Just no spiritual growth can come of that at all. In fact, the universe is going to know that you're not quite strong enough yet to reach those higher levels of being, because you can still be thrown off by the influence of other people, and that is a problem. It's really tough, I know, and it is an aspect of awakening that requires a bit of patience and a bit of work, but you need to cut those cords. You need to regain all that energy that's been lost to other sources, and when you do that, your energy and your personal power, it's all going to shift into those higher levels. It becomes effortless. It just flows. It's such a different energy. It's, when you know the frequency has just shifted, it's just a completely different energy. Now, negative energy cords can happen to everyone, and they do happen to everyone. But if you want to move forward, like I said, in your spiritual growth, you really need to cut anything out that is siphoning your energy so that you can really stand in your own power. It has to be cut and cleared out of your space so that you're completely whole and complete within. But to know exactly if they're happening to us, you want to check out these 3 signs that are coming up. They'll help you decide if it's happening to you. Okay, sign number 1 is that you often feel inexplicably drained, depleted or exhausted. Now, negative energy cords continually drain our energies, and it is really common for us to feel exhausted or depleted even when we've actually had plenty of rest. So that's that moment where you think, this doesn't make sense, I shouldn't be tired, Usually we can't find a reason for it, and it's because we're being drained energetically. It's an energetic component rather than a physical 3D health one. It is something different. We usually know that something isn't quite right, but we're not always sure exactly what that is. So take that as the first sign. You feel drained, exhausted or depleted, and you often don't know why. Sign number 2 is that you still get upset, hurt or angry when you think about specific situations from your past. This is a big indicator. So maybe you still feel surprisingly or seemingly disproportionately emotional when you think about certain times from your past. It's usually because the cords hold all of the negative emotions from that time. They hold them in place, and the other party is able to draw from that. They're able to draw energy from that, and of course it's unconscious by this other party. Cutting the cords puts those memories appropriately in the past where they belong, and it clears a lot of the emotions out too. So once you cut these cords, you're less likely to ruminate over the past and feel a lot of negative emotion as you do so. It's very powerful. Sign number 3 is that you often find yourself ruminating about people from your past and you can't seem to move on. So you need to ask yourself, do people from your past continually pop up in your thoughts in daily life? It might seem strange, but it's often because the negative cord between you and that person is still very much active. And as your energy is aware of this, it's aware of the fact that it's being drained, you'll find them on your mind much more often than they would usually be after so much time has passed. But don't worry, cutting those cords will clear their energy from your space entirely, and it'll help you reclaim any of yours that they're holding as well. So that's the wonderful thing about it. You get that energy back when you do cord cutting. It can bring a lot of energy back into your space and revitalise you quite a bit. It's important to note that negative energy cords affect spiritually sensitive people really, really intensely, because we know that the cord is there. We're maybe not always consciously aware of it, but we know that something's not right, and it'll continue to bother us with the signs that I've just mentioned until we actually take heed of the message and listen to what our soul is telling us and cut that energy off for good. Reclaim all the energy that is ours. It's very important. So let's talk about next how to do that. Okay, so we have a special 3-step system. We always come up with systems that you can use, step by steps, that are real steps that will actually make a difference. Because sometimes with spiritual stuff, it's all a bit kind of vague. It's all like too much about the energies, and it can leave you feeling as if you're not sure what steps to take. But we have 3 specific steps that you can do today to cut energetic cords, to let go of toxic relationships and regain your personal power. So, like I said throughout this entire thing, if there's one thing you take away from this video, I want you to know that energy cords are draining your spiritual energies. But fortunately now is the perfect time for you to change this, for you to cut these cords, because spiritual growth and ascension requires us to really let go of all the limiting issues and energies that hold us back. The past can certainly do that. The past can really hold us back. It keeps us trapped in the same old 3D negative energies as before. And if we can't let go of these draining energies, these disempowering connections from the past, because you'll know yourself if they were, negative experiences, which they were, we can transmute the energy of the old, all that old past energy, and we can revitalise our spirit entirely. That then is the moment when we're ready to raise the vibration of these negative limiters. Then we're able to help other people. It's about being in an energy where you're shifting this stuff out of your space and you're raising your vibration enough that any limiters that are there just start to dissolve. It becomes a lot more effortless. It's not as confusing as you would ever think it could possibly be. And if you use our 3-step system, you'll get through it no problem. It's really quite easy. So here's how to cut old energetic cords. Step 1, use energy healing to cut all negative energy cords. In order to stop the continual draining that you're going through, we must cut all negative energy cords that are siphoning your energy, okay, because it's stealing energy from you all the time. We use energy healing to do this. Energy healing can identify all the negative energy cords and cut them immediately. So this happens instantaneously. You don't have to wait. It's an immediate thing. And it will disconnect you from any previously unhealthy relationships in all areas of life. So it doesn't matter what type of relationship it was, it can clear it all out. And don't worry, the positive life-affirming ones will still be left intact. That's the wonderful thing about using energy healing for this. And of course, it exists on the energetic level, so we must use energy to treat it. That's what's really important. Step 2 is to reclaim stolen energy. Okay, so most people cut energy cords. I see it all the time, and they think that the process is done. But I've found through years of working with people that despite the cord being cut, often each party still holds fragments of each other's energies. And if these aren't returned to the owner, ultimately, they still leave you depleted. They still leave both of you depleted, actually. And the cord might not be entirely cut. And so it's not entirely cleared. So it's really important that all fragments of energy are first cleansed and cleared and then returned to the rightful owner. So that means your energy, you receive that back from that person, cleared, and then any energy that you've picked up, because remember it transfers between the two and you won't know it, that energy exists in you too. You're clearing that person's energy out your space and sending it back, and that can create a big shift to help you to really move on in life as well, to move past the experience that you had with any of these people. It really does make a big difference. And what I've found is that it also ensures that any karma between those two individuals is completed, so you're going to have a more effective and lasting cord cutting, which is important. And step 3, and this is really the most important one, because if you're going to do the initial steps, you really want it to stick. You want to cut those cords and you want to make sure that it's effective, that it lasts. Most people skip this step or don't realise that it's important. Send compassion. I believe this to be a really important part of cord cutting, because after all that negativity, it's important to infuse the clearing with some positivity. Let's try and get some positive energy in there, because it's been negative for so long. After all, these negative cords are an entirely unconscious connection, and anyone who was previously draining your energy won't have any conscious knowledge of it. They won't know that that's what they were doing. Just the same as you wouldn't know if you were doing that to someone else. You might not be aware of it. Compassion energy brings care and understanding to the entire situation and to the two people involved, and it brings a really healthy closure, which is one of the main reasons why we focus on this. It allows your soul to recognise that the lessons between you and that person are complete, and it kind of completes and closes the lessons that you were learning with that person. It supports your soul in moving on as well. When you do that, the closure helps your soul to go, okay, let's move into the next higher level of energy. Let's move into the next higher vibrational level. It can make a big shift, so don't forget to send compassion. It really brings a completion to the process. That means these cords won't reconnect. It's done. It's really done. It's a very powerful process, cord cutting, and it is especially helpful during spiritual awakening when you feel ready to shift into that next level. Like I said, cutting the cords, just cutting the cords alone can assist in raising your vibration, but of course we want to get into those other areas where we're bringing your energy back, we're resending the energy back to its rightful owners, and we're bringing in compassion as well. It just really creates a much more complete process. So let's talk over a little recap of everything that we've learned, and then we're going to talk about how you can begin this for yourself. Okay, so what we've learned today is, of course, like I said many times, energy cords are draining your spiritual energies. And we learned that past toxic relationships and negative dynamics that you've experienced with family, previous partners, friends, even co-workers can create those unhealthy negative energetic cords, and they really deplete your energy in a big way. We learned about some of the situations that cause these negative energy cords, like when boundaries are not respected or adhered to, when manipulation, guilt tactics, gaslighting or abuse is involved, when obligation, judgment or unconstructive criticism is at play. And remember, these can be things that happened a long time ago in your past, even your childhood. It doesn't matter when these negative experiences happened, the cords can still be there. It's also likely if you're an empath or a sensitive soul, if you struggle to set boundaries with others, if you find it difficult to say no or you feel guilty saying it, if you have people-pleasing tendencies, you dislike or avoid confrontation or conflict, or if you've been told you're too nice, which many empaths are often told, and it's not necessarily a good thing. Then we talked about 3 signs that these things are currently draining your energy. You feel inexplicably drained, depleted or exhausted. You still get upset, hurt or angry when you think about specific situations from your past, and you find yourself often ruminating about people from your past and you can't seem to move on. The good news is you don't need to go to energy healers, you don't need to train in energy healing, you don't need expensive repeated sessions. If you're ready to get started on cutting those old energetic negative cords right now, then you can check out our brand new energy healing meditation, the Compassionate Cord Cutting. It's specifically created to compassionately cut all energetic cords to unhealthy relationships or toxic relationships, to reclaim your stolen energy and to help you stand in your personal power, just like we talked about that fantastic 3-step process. And you can get started right now. There'll be a link below. You can find out more information. You won't find a healing product like this anywhere else. Our meditations are a really special blend of meditation, which is relaxing and calming, and energy healing and activations. That's what makes the difference in awakening. It's about really working with your energy to make shifts and help you raise into the next higher vibration. It's the equivalent of a specifically tailored energy healing session with me, because I work with a series of high vibrational spirit guides who are dedicated to helping us on the awakening pathway, and they specifically tailor the energy healing meditation to your energy. So when you watch that energy healing meditation, they go to work straight away and begin working on your behalf. You can use it again and again to heal different layers and to continually cut cords if they come up again, from the comfort of your own home and at your own pace, in your own time. So this meditation is going to help you to cut energetic cords from unhealthy or toxic relationships, any at all, through whether it was family, a partner, a friend, co-worker, someone you know. It will cut those cords immediately. So this is an immediate thing. It's going to release painful emotions attached to your past. So we're bringing in a lot of healing for hurt, sadness, anger, anything else that might be happening for you. It's going to regain any energy that's been taken from you by others. So you're going to get all that energy back. That's going to create a big shift in your energetic field. And of course, we'll send any that you hold back to anyone else as well. We're going to send compassion to all involved. And this is the light worker's way. And it results in a much more effective cord cutting. And of course, we're going to help you to stand in your personal and spiritual power. It's really about reclaiming all that energy and feeling strong within. And of course, like I said, you can start right now. It's an immediate thing, the cord cutting. The energy healing meditation is available below. Check it out and see if it feels like it resonates with you. Thank you so much for watching.